Well, hello and welcome to Tea Talk. I am so happy to have all of you all today. And listen, you're going to want to go and share this right now to all your family and friends. Have you ever thought about somebody in your family that you didn't know or that you wanted to know about? Are you missing a relative or friend? Are you missing a family member? Maybe you didn't know your mom or your dad growing up and you want to know how it is. Well, listen, I have the perfect person for you today who is going to show you and help you how to find your family and put them together. It's going to be so much fun, so much information. She is also, we call her the party planner extraordinaire in that she can plan parties and family reunions from A to Z. You don't have to worry about it. All you got to do is tell her what you need and she plans it. She has so much information and gifting and just some creative ideas to make the party turn out to be just fabulous. So if you want to know more about ancestry.com, she knows all of the information about that. So anything with putting families together, parties together, she knows it. So listen, why don't you go ahead and tag or connect with your family, your friend, or somebody who has been asking for information about. Well, I heard we had an auntie that lived in California that I'd like to get in touch with. Or, sometimes, and unfortunately, we have things that happen where we were parted at birth from our parents or our child, or maybe we gave a child up for adoption, and now you want to get back together. This lady can put it all together for you, find the information about it, and she's going to tell us a story too about her own personal experience with ancestry.com. So go ahead and get everybody on the phone, tell them, come on, we have got a guest on today and is going to answer any questions. Get your questions ready for anything from party planning, family reunions, ancestry.com's. Get those questions ready, put them in the chat, and we're going to answer as many of them as we can. So without further ado, I would like to introduce and welcome to Tea Talk, Miss Laverne Irving. So if you'll give us a hand clap and a woo, woo, woo for Miss Laverne as she comes to Tea Talk. Welcome, Miss Laverne.
Hi,
You look so beautiful.
thank you.
And you know what? You got that glow about you that just tells me that you are ready for vacations. It's
Yeah,
June, and it's time for people to be planning those trips and vacations and excursions away and family reunions. So, are you ready for yours?
yes, I am. I'm going to meet some new relatives on next week, June 15th, going to Whiteville, North Carolina. That's like 2.5 hours away from Charlotte, North Carolina. And I met these people through Ancestry.
Well, now that's what I was going to say. This is what's so amazing. She has so many amazing stories, but this is the first one we're going to say because it kind of pulls us all in to say, wow, what do you mean you just met these people on Ancestry? I thought you said it was a family reunion. Well, you heard her right. It is a family reunion. Now, Miss Laverne, tell us about these people. How can they be your family and you're going to a family reunion and you just met these people? Are they family? Tell us that story.
Yes, they are. I took the Ancestry test in 2012. And I took it the reason why, because my mother is biracial. And so I wanted to get into finding out about the white side of us. And then, so when I took the test, I did not know that it was going to tell us all the relatives, a lot of relatives who have taken the test, that they would be on there, people who I didn't know, and then some of my cousins that I do know that took the test.
Wow. So when you took this test, then what did you start finding some relatives that you didn't know? And is this where you're going for this family reunion to meet these people?
Okay, well, I took the test for the research part, and then I started interacting with the relatives on Ancestry because some of them was close cousins, second and third, and all that. So I wanted to know, who they was and what part of, how they was connected to me. So then after that, I started meeting a lot of people. Then I found out a lot of them was from Virginia, North Carolina. And then when I started doing my history, my mother's side came from England, and then they landed in Virginia and North Carolina. So
Now, was your
that's
mother
where it
white?
started.
Well, you
My
said,
mother's, she's half white and half black,
okay.
but I
And
did not know that. I did not know that back then. I just knew she was a light-skinned woman with pretty eyes and everything like that. I found out that later on when we went to the country, and then a lot of white people was around, and that's when we questioned.
you know, and I know you have really pretty eyes. What color your eyes are kind of brown or hazel or some kind of color?
Yes, they are light brown, hazel. They
Yeah.
changes.
Well, that's so funny because I do remember as growing up as a little girl that at around my grandfather's house, when people come to visit us, they said, "Oh, that's Uncle John, that's Cousin Luck." You know, and I'm like, and these people are white. I'm like, what do you call them uncle? I thought it was just a term of endearment. But when they died, I found out that they were really relatives. And so we all pretty much, if we came from the South, we have some white blood in us somewhere. So you found out your mother was from England, or that's where your ancestry came from. Now, how did
Correct.
you find that out?
Well, when I did Ancestry breaks it down for you, everything what you made of.
Okay, and break that down. What you made of as far as racial different.
Yes, it tells you
Mhm.
the percentage of how much African American you are, and your white side and everything. It breaks it down.
Wow. Well, I bought the kit. I don't know how long they go, but I still have it around here somewhere. I never took it. I really got a little afraid because I know, and you told me this funny story too. You tell all of your clients that, if you have some situations in your life and your history, you might not want to take ancestry.com. So that's just kind of a disclaimer, guys, that when you take it, you may come up with some good stories and you may come up with some bad stories. Can you tell us about one of those precautions that you give your clients that about being found if they don't want to be found?
Right. Now, since I found out that they use Ancestry for DNA for murder cases and all that in the past, and so when I ask someone to take a test because I'm helping somebody researching to find their family, I always tell them and say, if you have a bad history that you did something back in the day, like killing people or whatever more, then I would recommend you not to take this test because you may be on the list. But not only that, I have found out Ancestry, what it does now, they look at people trees and stuff, and they'll hunt you down. And if you is that person is part of your family, and they'll hunt you down and asking you like, where's that person and stuff. So they use it. They really use it and stuff. And people may be afraid to take it. They'd be afraid to take it for that reason. And then also, a lot of men don't know that they have children because the women's, when they got pregnant back in the day, they told them that they wasn't pregnant by them. And then later on down in the years, when the child is looking at the father who's raising them, knowing that she don't look like him or he don't look like him, they start questioning mama, is that the real dad? So, that's what happening also.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? You're so true. I was thinking I have a little story about ancestry.com that happened to me because like I said, I didn't take it. But my son took it and his wife. And so when they took it, then that put me in the pool whether I wanted to be in there or not. So
Correct.
so I had a young man, to call and ask. He said that it shows that I'm related to him very closely. And
Mm-hmm.
I knew I didn't take the test, but he said, well, no, he was related to my son who had taken the test. And so I went back and looked at it and found out that, yes, he was a child that, by my father that he didn't know about, but the child was looking for him. And when he looked for him, since I wasn't in there, my DNA was in there by my son's. So his DNA matched up very closely to my son's. Then I realized that he was a part of me as well as in the family. So unfortunately, you don't even have to take it.
Right.
Your child or your cousin, somebody takes that's close to you, they can find you through another person. So if you're a criminal, you need to be very careful because they can trace that DNA through your other family relatives. So
Right.
so that's something to be thinking about if you got outside children, whatever. But like I said, you really can't, you can run, but you can't hide. Because if that child starts looking for you, they're going to connect with somebody who did take it. So that
Correct.
was kind of scary to me too. So
Yeah.
that's the scary part of about it, and to be careful about it. But reality is you still may not be able to avoid it. So let's talk about the fun stories that have come from it. Um, I know you had some families that you put together that have just been so happy about putting them together, finding each other. Can you talk about any families or maybe a couple of stories that you just like were just really, because I know, well, let's back up for a minute. Before we do that, hold that thought because I forgot to ask you one thing. How did you get started? Because now you did that for your family, for you, and now you do it for other people all over the world. You're helping other people find their loved one. How did
Yeah.
you start doing that and become some person that people would call on? Because I know people call you to help them.
Yes. Well, back in 2012, I wanted to, everybody kept asking me to put a family reunion together. So, we lost contact of a lot of people when I was younger. So, what I did, I went to the internet and Googled their name and I found them in the cities. And then I called them. So, after I found the relatives, and then that's when I started calling out to everybody and telling them that we want to get a family reunion together. So when we got the family reunion together, the first one, it was like over 350 people came because everybody was so desperate to reunite. So once we did that, and then for the first 2 years back to back, I did the family reunion. So I decided after the second one, I asked someone else in the family to take over because I wanted to go in and do the research of our family history to find out a lot of details. So I have been on the research thing for many years and stuff. And right before COVID, I was going to start back hosting a family reunion, but COVID happened. So now we're looking for our first reunion in about 4 years next year.
Okay, so that's going to be okay. Well, you said a lot there. First of all, you found 300 relatives and had a family reunion with 300 people.
350.
Oh my goodness! And that's one of the ones you were planning, helping out, or planned it. I don't know. Think were you over it or just
Yeah,
how did that
I'm
work?
the
350
yeah.
people. Oh my goodness.
Well, I did it. Yeah, I had it. Okay, we had a cousin that he was real sick, and that was in like November, and he asked, me to put some together. Of course, he passed away in December, but by me starting it, I had 2.5 months to put a family reunion together because we wanted to have it in March. So I had to travel to the country, and then they told me it was a whole new set of people that I never known because the sister she married, her name changed because she had got married. And then so I found one person in the Bryan, Texas, and then that person told me about the whole side. It was a whole nother, a lot of people and stuff. And then so I told her what I was doing. I was putting a book together and she said, well, can you add us on? So I told her she had 2 weeks to give me everybody names. So she did it. And we made a book.
Oh my! So you make books too? Was this a book of like your family reunion people or people you found or?
I did the tree for
The
everybody. I
tree.
made, I
Okay.
did but I made it in a book, and then also I gave them pictures of some of our ancestors and stuff by reaching out to family who had pictures of their families that I didn't know about. So everybody got a book at the family reunion.
Valuable. That's such a valuable resource because so many people would love to know what their families look like and so
Right.
forth. And I think you said before too that when the family reunions get together through ancestry.com, they start looking like, oh, you look like Aunt Lucy, or you, I can see where I get my nose from. So family reunions are very important. So we're going to talk in two phases. I want to get to this family reunion first because COVID did throw a little monkey wrench into everybody's family reunions, and they're so important. So why are family reunions so important to you?
Well, you get to know you try to find out who your relatives so you won't make that mistake like your ancestors did, married into the family, you know, and everything. And I
Don't
tell
know who your
my
family is.
yeah, well, at the family reunion, I tell people we all kin to each other no matter what. We can't escape the connection. It may be far away, we may be fifth or sixth, but you may be kin to your husband. You never
I
know,
know it.
and
You need
stuff
to come
like
to
that.
family reunion.
Yeah, and then
Look
also it
here.
comes through Virginia and North Carolina.
Yeah, I will never forget. We were at a funeral, that's where families usually get together. And this guy walked a handsome, I mean, handsome, handsome, handsome guy. He came to me and he was trying to talk to me. And, one of the old men came up, what y'all doing? This your first cousin, your second cousin. I'm like, you know, but if you don't go to family events, you could be dating your family member and not even knowing it. So it's really
Yes.
important to keep that and then passing on history and things to your children and getting them together because family is so important. So now tell me about how you plan this family reunion because can you give some tidbits on, I mean, nobody can do it like you because I've seen you plan and but how could we what do you start off with when you're planning a family reunion? Can you give us like maybe 5 steps or something we can do?
Well, what I did, like I said, I contacted, it's like you contact one person out of your family. If
Okay.
it's 5 kids, if you find one person out of that, then you contact them and tell them what you're doing. And then you tell them that you need all of their siblings' information, numbers and stuff like that, so you could contact. So that's what I did. I did that for until I got everybody and stuff. And that's how I got a list. And I'm the person that keeps everybody telephone number, emails, everything.
Wow. So I like that idea because I hadn't thought about that. You get one person and you tell them to contact all of their family people and collect information and give it to you, and you're just combining. Wow.
Right.
So you have 350 names already combined to work from for the next reunion.
Yes, I have that and more because it's always you learning that you got more and more relatives. And then plus, since I've done ancestry, they're included because they are the family and stuff. So like I invited people from Virginia and stuff, and everybody
New
had a
people. New
game.
people that
Yeah,
you find, you just add them to the list.
right.
Okay. Okay. Oh, good. That's a good tip. What's another? What else do you do next?
So after I gather everybody and then we set a date for a family reunion and everything, we get together, we have discussions. I always leave it that they able to call me or we could do Zoom calls now. And first to start your family tree and stuff and start with your parents. And then after that, if you and most people if people go to their grandparents, a lot of people don't can't even do the grandparents. They don't know who their grandparents are. So, but if you could just start with yourself and your parents, and
Parents.
then after that, uh, I could find who your grandparents are and stuff like that. Because Ancestry have all that information. And other than that, on Ancestry, it's a lot of people that is kin to you, come out the same family line that they have done the tree.
And I like that. Zoom, has really done a lot to help
Right.
make things easier because I know when I tried to do a family reunion, it was really horrible. It was hard to try to call people and on the phone. But if you set a Zoom and then 150 people can get on at one time, woo, and then you tell everybody what you need and they can get it on. So it's possible to really get a family tree to get together easily. And also too, I want to make sure our guest knows that if you're just too busy, you don't have time to do all this, Laverne, is this something that you can do for them?
Yes, I can start them and I teaches people over the phone. I teach people in North Carolina that, people always asking and then they learn it and then, I'm always getting calls and it's just that it's all the time and then I get referred and stuff and I'm the person that like if I get your DNA, if you don't know who your father or nobody is, your mother or whatever, I could when I get a copy of your DNA and I go in there and I could read it and I tell you who you are. And then after that, I break it down and go get the family who it is. Is it which one of the sons is your dad or your mom?
So that's getting into the ancestry DNA part of the family part of it, which you are able to be able, I think you have books and trainings and things like that that you know how to go and do things that we don't know how to do with. And I mean, we get the little report, but you can go further than that, right?
Right. And
Okay.
stuff I could do. And then it's some websites that you could go to
Okay.
and you don't even have to have a membership to it. It's free and just start your tree. And that's familysearch.org.
Familysearch.org.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
And
good.
it's
Maybe
it's
Tish can put that in the thing, familysearch.org. And that
uh-huh.
one is free and you can start your family tree from there.
Right, and it's really good. I really like it because what happened is if you build your tree on that, and then it have a space on there that after you did your tree, you go to another section, and it'll tell you all those like presidents you can to, all the poets, everybody, celebrities, everything.
Wow.
It'll
On the
tell
free
you
one?
that.
Is
Yeah,
that free
it'll.
too?
Oh yeah, because you're on that website.
Okay. Now, what about confidential? Are they going to be able to find out who I am? Or is it kind of get you connected into their database some kind of way?
Okay, well, okay, on Ancestry, you don't have to put your full name on there. You could just put initials, or
Okay.
you could put your nickname or whatever more. So, like if you my first cousin and you on there and you didn't put your first name, you just put like initials or you put something you want one of your nicknames,
Right.
and then that's what you put on there. But
Okay.
then, yeah, and then, but you could still, people after a while, if somebody's email you and you get comfortable with them and want to learn stuff, then you're going to tell them what your real name is.
Okay. Okay. Very good. So that's good. Thanks for sharing that. That's good information. Familysearch.org. Are there others? I know that Ancestry.com costs money, but I think are they on sale right now?
Yes, yes, it's on sale right now. Ancestry's on sale, and it's on sale for $59. It's regular 99. I recommend people when they first get on it, just buy the Ancestry. You don't have to buy the research part yet until you get familiar with it. But then also, when you're ready to research, you could call them and they give you 2 weeks free trial on that.
That's good to know. And so why is it important to have the research part on there?
Oh, because you get to see more. You get to see family, like other people who you share matches with,
Uh-huh.
because it'll show you could click on share matches, and that person may have a tree that has 10,000 names. So
Oh,
that's your family, and then that's a lot of history that you want to know, and you connected on which line you connected with them.
oh, that's really good. So make sure you're ready because if you got the 2 weeks, you're trying to get it for free. Make sure you got your information and that you can work it because it's all computerized on the online, right? But you
Right.
should be able for 2 weeks to really work it because after 2 weeks it's gone. But that's good information.
Yeah.
So are there others? Let's see, ancestry.com and thefamilysearch.org. Are there others that might be helpful in researching?
People takes the 23andMe. They take that because it's medical and all that. But I personally don't like it. I use it only if I have a difficult time and somebody took it. But I use Ancestry's best is real more easier. And some people take the 23andMe and give me their password, and then I go in there search, but then I talk them into taking Ancestry, and then it's better results and stuff because more people take Ancestry to me than 23andMe. But also on Ancestry, when you find in people death certificate, it tells you what they died of. So you can still see what your family history had, what kind of sickness they had and stuff.
Okay, that's a good one too, because also I know in the death certificate tells you who their parents were, where they live, where they died. You can get a lot of information off of a death certificate.
Right.
So, but now the 23andMe, is that something you said that's medical? If you want to know like medical history?
Well, that's what people take it for because
Mhm.
of medical, to find medical, they want to know what kind of health problems their family had. That's just
Okay.
like me. I would have never known my family had cancer because I never heard of nobody having cancer until my brothers had cancer, prostate, cancer and stuff. But nobody like my parents, none of them. And, I never heard my grandparents had it. So, but it is in the family. And I found out it did run in the family when I was looking at other, death certificates.
Yeah. And that's good to know. I know if you didn't grow up with your mother or father in the home, you don't know their family history. I know my dad had, was had an illness and I kept telling the doctor, he said, anybody in your family? I said, no, nobody in my family, because I'm thinking it's my family being my mother, not my dad, because I didn't grow up with him. But turned out I have a lot of his DNA in me. And whether I wanted to know that or not, or whether I wanted to admit it or not, the genes don't lie. So,
Right, right.
hey,
Mhm.
Sister Blair, welcome to the Tea Talk. I see you chimed it in there. If you have any questions or comments, just kind of let me know. Show your face, and we'll get you on. So that's really important. So this new ancestry DNA things can be. Now I've heard bad things too, saying that the medical insurance people look at this. And so they can use it to not insure you, by your family history. They can say, oh, this one's mom or dad died from, diabetes or whatever. And so we're not going to insure them. Have you heard anything like that, anybody?
No, I have not heard anything about that. I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah. Well, there's always rumors around here, and I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
Right. Yeah, we never know.
you never know because now I've heard, even like for, job interviews that people go on Facebook and look at your Facebook before they hire you
Right,
and see
right. And that's true.
who are your friends, what kind of things are you posting or liking. Uh,
Right,
so we have to be so careful about this social media and this kind of form, hey Flair, and things like that, because everybody's looking. And I saw one the other day that really just horrified me. They were saying that, there are criminals who watch your social media and they target you to do certain criminal things. Like one, they wanted to kidnap this little baby because the baby was so beautiful and so forth. So they found out where the people lived and they had a whole list. Then some they were wanting to rob because they always flashing money, showing their house, whatever. And so they just searched social media to find the people to hit. And so when they finally found out about it, they went to the person's house and they had a whole list, books of people in that profiles on Facebook that they're, keeping information about them, about how they want to, what they want to do, to rob them, rape them, whatever, and then it's just really scary. So be careful what you put on Facebook is what I'm saying, guys. I always tell them, especially about kids, be careful about putting your children out there, because the people can find out where you live, and there's so many things that are going on. We have to protect ourselves, but we certainly have to protect our kids and our teenagers who just don't know. So, Liz Flair, you got any connections with any of you, finding any of your relatives on ancestry.com, or is anybody you're looking for?
No, I've never done that, but we have actually this year we started last year with the new generation of us elders now, who are the elders of the families. And I'm one of those. So
welcome to the club, the elders in the house.
I'm an elder now. So last year we got a couple of us together, and we have one of the older ones. She's been able to find other family members that we have kind of lost and didn't know. So again, this year we do another family reunion, and we've gotten more, and we did a Facebook page and asked if you know anybody else, reach out to them. So we've started doing that kind of stuff.
Well, that's another tidbit we can add to, because Laverne was telling us, she does so many different kinds of planning for everything, not just for family reunions, but we were asking her for a couple of tips. We can add that one to it, to put a Facebook page together, because everybody's on Facebook and they'll be able to find you that way. And one of my dad's family members, and I say dad's family members because they're mine too, but I don't really know them like that well. They do have a Facebook page, so that's a very good one. So put that as a tip if you're trying to plan a family reunion, guys. Make a Facebook page with what you have. So Miss Laverne, tell us, is there anything else that you kind of thought about with the planning for family reunions that you wanted to add that you do? Because I know you do so much. It's like, whatever. Okay, let me back up. Let me ask you a question first. Okay, because this is what some people on Tea Talk are going to be asking questions. My biggest problem with family reunions is it costs money.
Yes.
And people don't want to pay.
Right.
They want to come to the door and walk through the door and get their plate, and they haven't bought anything. How do you handle the money?
Well, unfortunately, what happened is, when I bought the family reunion together the first time, it was $10. And nobody, they couldn't believe it was so cheap.
Right.
But it was and stuff. But then the last family reunion we had.
Wait, stop there. So the $10, let me, because ours has been $10. Did everybody pay?
Oh yeah.
Really?
We didn't have we didn't. Oh, $10 wasn't nothing back in 2000.
I know it's nothing, but people still don't want to pay the $10.
Well, see, keep in mind that was our first one back, and then they got a book. The book was over 100 and some pages with pictures, and I had all that printed and everything, and we gave each family one. So, and that's
$10?
Yes, everybody. I didn't charge for the book. I just gave that as a gift to everybody.
Okay, so that's one thing we know, give away free gifts.
Yeah, I did that.
To get everybody started. Okay, now, so how much does it cost now?
$35 was our last one. Okay. And that was for 3 days.
3 days where? At your house?
No, Friday. No, Friday, Saturday. Then we had something that Sunday and stuff. But what happened, and I had Burns barbecue to, do the barbecue for me. And then we did the fish fry that Friday night and stuff. And then that Sunday we had food. But yeah, just $35 we had it for. Okay. For those 3 days.
3 days of the food. Okay. I'm looking at, because I plan things before too. And so each meal is going to cost you $10, $15. You're talking about the drink, the paper plates, all that kind of stuff. So do they bring some stuff? I mean,
Oh no, ma'am. I do not allow anybody bring food. I get it
just give
catered.
me $35 and I can get it done.
Yes, I get it. No, I just, we everybody know where the food come from and the desserts and I, order. No, that's, I do everything. I don't let nobody do nothing, bring in nothing.
Wow. Okay. For 300 people, 50 people?
Yeah.
Okay. Flair, what has been your experience with your family? How much do you charge for your family reunions?
Well, since we just picked it up again, because we did it a long time ago,
Uh-huh.
when my parents, everybody was alive, and we had issues with, well, is it the family pay this amount? Is it each child? So it kind of died down. So when we started last year, what we did, we had Friday, Saturday. So Friday night, we picked last year, we picked a restaurant. You came to the restaurant, we ate, you paid for your meal, but
Right.
we socialized. That Saturday, we have a park. We went to the park, and each person, each family, how you want to do it, you brought what you wanted for your table, but it was community.
Right.
And then that Sunday, we usually go to the family old church. And after, we usually just do a little snack, drink, and everything, because most people are getting
Right.
back on the road. So this year we're doing a boat ride in New Orleans, because we do it in New Orleans.
Okay.
They're doing a boat ride, but we did it as a group, as a family group, but each person has to pay for theirs.
Okay.
And
buy your own ticket.
yes, because we found too many issues with, well, how much I have to pay, who's paying what, and why do we, so we didn't want to
My
do
children have to
that.
pay.
Exactly. So
Okay.
we did a little different, and last year worked out pretty good.
Wow. And
Mhm.
I don't know. I still got Laverne needs to write a book because
I'm serious, yeah.
because I'm
It
telling
just
you.
depends on your people and stuff, And like I said, most of the time, everybody knows me. And when I do something for the family, they know it's going to be right. So
Mhm.
I guess that's
That's
why I get a
good.
lot of participant people wants to do stuff. But it's all up about your family.
Right.
I have been invited to family reunions out of town, and they like $150.
Yeah.
So my first question to them, I ask them, what does it cover? And what do y'all do? And most of it's not even worth 150. I just couldn't believe it. But if people go, it
Yeah.
just depends
Yeah.
on your family. They really pay out and stuff like that. So, it just depends on your
Depends on the
family.
family. Yeah. Because I don't want anybody going and saying they charge $35 for family reunion for 3 days. Why are we paying 150? Because it
Mhm.
depends on the family. I think you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. And what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to have it for our family reunion when it was really going well, but there were still issues that we would have at a hotel on a Friday night. And so it'd be like, the food is catered, the band, the book. There would be expenses that were incurred by the people. There's a planning committee of usually about 10 people that kind of represent each family clan, I should say. And then we were supposed to uh, communicate with our family person what happened at the meeting, da da da. And so they were to tell us each person is going to be $25 for the meal on Friday night. Give your money to your family member. Well, some people just didn't give it to them. And so therefore you end up having somebody show up that didn't pay,
Mhm.
but that family lead person has had to pay for everybody's or hear about it at the next meeting. So it got to be a little bit, I don't know how but you
Yeah.
can't eat or have any kind of uh like family reunion thing like that without it costing you at least $25, I would say. You got $15 for the meal, you got to pay the band, you got to pay for decorations, um, you got to pay for the book,
Mhm.
you know, usually they have some kind of little trinket or something that, so it ended up that it would be like a $25 cost. Okay. And we have people that didn't want to pay it and just try to kind of crash the party sometimes.
Mhm.
The picnic, we'd have one person we give $10 to, and they would buy all the meat and barbecue it. like a community. And then we would pay for our table. We would bring the bread, potato salad, whatever we wanted to do. And the cakes, we kind of put them all together, whatever. But, you'd have some people come and they didn't put nothing down. They want to have a soda, a plate, or whatever. So I don't know if this is a Southern thing with us down here in East Texas and and Louisiana. I don't know. But you don't ever have any of those problems. Golly.
I don't have no problems. I mean, like I say, it depends on your people and stuff.
Okay.
And then, I have cousins that if somebody didn't do it, they'll say, let them in and I take care of it, stuff like that. So they just didn't want, they don't, yeah, but I hadn't had those problems. Everything was good.
Well, good. Okay, so let's go back to the family reunions. Have you had any family reunions where y'all went like on a cruise or a vacation excursion or anything like that? Are they all pretty much going back down home to the hometown or what?
Yeah, I don't plan those. We did it from the hometown first, and then I brought it to Houston because people was coming from all over the world. So the home place, it's nothing to do, but for one day. But here in Houston, it was like a vacation to people who never been to Texas. So I do them here in Houston.
And that was going to be my next question. Where, and both of y'all can answer this, because you got to have something for the people to do. I know when they come to Houston, they like to stay at the Galleria, and they got all different kind of things. And we have certain things planned for them to go to as well. But some of those costs, and sometimes people don't have money to do that. But when you get them in a really good place, they can just go shopping and go to the mall and hang out themselves if they don't want to do that. So what kind of excursions or places are good places to have family reunions?
Well, it depends on where you want to go. I had one in Conroe before, and it's big out there. And then we did have one in San Antonio. So we did the family reunion there. And then after that evening, everybody went to the Riverwalk and stuff. So it just depends on what they want to do. But a lot of times, the ones that we did in Houston, I invite people to my house and stuff, and then we have a little party here and stuff like that after the family reunion. So it just depends on what's going on.
Wow. And you started doing this after you retired, right? You weren't working a 9 to 5. I'm thinking, yeah, coming to my house is like you got to clean up, and then you got to worry about folk all over your house, and then clean up after they leave.
Now, I didn't retire to 2015, but I did the family reunions 2012. So I just had the time off of work and stuff. So it was okay because I'm a good organizer. So it doesn't bother me. I could do it, and then have it done and stuff. But other than that, yeah.
I think you said the key word. I think that's why we gave you that name, the party planner extraordinaire, and the ancestry research queen. Because first of all, things are always much easier when you have the gifting to do them. And I know, Laverne, you have the gifting to be able to plan, and you like doing it. It's like a natural thing. Some people just can't plan. They just don't know what they're doing. And when you have somebody doing that, it's a mess, and it's frustrating for the person. But I think with you have such a wonderful attitude of serving people and wanting to see people happy and pull together families. So whether it's through ancestry.com, I know you get a really great joy in bringing families together and some of these stories. And the same thing for planning parties and events and things like that, because I know you were such a great help to me when we planned our 50th. I didn't know you. That's when I first realized that you could plan parties. I was like, oh my God, this woman here, she's a beast. She knows how to do it, and it doesn't take her long, and she always has a smile on her face because she loves doing it. So I think that's really the answer to why you can do it so well, because not only are you gifted, but you love people and you love serving people. So I want to applaud you for that. So how can people get in touch with you if they would like to know more about planning family reunions? I know you said you had a book too you wanted to share of things that they could pick up to help them in planning parties or events or family reunions. How do you do it? Is anything, any little cheat sheet or book you can give us, or can we just call you?
Okay, I could give you my email, and then everybody, have questions or talk with me and stuff, and I can help you. And another thing I want to let everybody know, some people, if you don't know who your father, your mother is, you're adopted, there is a way that you could find out who you are and who your parents are. You take the ancestry test. Like I say, I really like that. And then also, it depends on what state you live in. If you had a still closed adoption in some states, now you're able to just go to the courts and call and get your real parents' information, who they are. So you just have to, it depends on what you're looking for. But if you want to know, if you knew your mother and your parents and did not know who your grandparents are, there's a way to find out who the grandparents are. So my email is laverne_Irvin@sbcglobal.net, LAVERNE_IRV as in Victory, IN at sbcglobal.net. And also, I just want to let you know, I found out I had a brother 4 years ago, and through Ancestry. He took the Ancestry test because everybody was talking to him in Spanish, and he didn't know why. And he took the test, and then when he came up on my results, I reached out to him, and I told him, give me a call, that he was my sibling. And he did not know what I was talking about because he was adopted. And then once he called me, I was able to tell him everything. And then he told me he was adopted. And then I said, give me access to your DNA, and then I will tell you who your mother is. And within that night, I called him and I told him I found his mother, and then that he lives in Baytown, Texas, and he looks just like my brother, my dad, everything. It was my dad child. So, and of course I welcome him. Everybody don't get welcome when they be found, but you just have to take that chance and stuff. And also, I just want to tell you, I have a book. I mean, I read is Black Roots, and it's by Tony Burrows, Burroughs. It's a Black author, and this is the best book for people to really read and understand how to research and find answers, and they will get answers from that.
Right. So
what's the name of the book? I'm sorry, what's the name of the book again? Black
Roots.
Okay.
Okay. And the author's name?
Tony, last name Burroughs.
Okay.
Somebody had gave me this book because I was so much into research. And when I read this book, I couldn't believe it because all my notes I made, he had said this thing and I hadn't read it. And I was just so amazed at it.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing that book with us. You've given us so much information today. And I would just encourage each of you to start looking, unless you kill somebody or, have a criminal record. You might want to not do this, but if you do have a clear record and you're not going to cause trouble for anybody else, it's so much information out there that you don't know about your own self. And just to know who you are, who you look like, where'd you get that nose from, that walk from, and be around family, because to me family is so important. And so if you don't have family, if something happened and you got adopted or some kind of way you don't know your family, then reach out to that family member, understanding that they may not accept you, but they might.
Right.
And if they don't accept you, somebody else in the family might, but you deserve to know who your family is. So do that and reach out and love on each other. And I can't wait to hear about that family reunion when you get back, because Laverne is going, she found some family on ancestry.com. They're having a family reunion, and guess who's going to the family reunion?
Nice.
Laverne is. And she
Nice.
couldn't even know them, but she's got to go know her. That's very brave.
That is.
So I think though, but for the person that you are and the ministry and the company that you are creating, that you could have a great story to tell people, that not only do I do the work, I've actually do it myself. I believe in it. So have fun at your family reunion with the new people that you found on ancestry.com. I think that ancestry.com needs to give you a job. They need to pay you something, because you promote them so much in such a positive way, and you have so many great stories to tell that you've told me that have just brought you to tears, that some of the people that you put together. So go out and do that. Share this video today, share this Tea Talk time with someone else who might need to find out. And if you can't do it yourself, or you're just too busy, or this is just something too much for you, call Miss Laverne, the queen. She knows how to do everything. So that's all the time we have today. Thank you, Miss Laverne, for coming on the show today.
You're welcome.
You have been a great blessing to us. We look forward to hearing your stories about your new family reunion when you come back. And
Okay.
so that's all for now, but thank you everybody for joining Tea Talk. We'll see you next Sunday at tea for 3 with Lady O. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Tish, I'm supposed to stop recording, or not? I forgot. Tish, are you still here?
I'm here. When you
Okay.
stop, you can stop recording, and I will.
Well, I don't know. I tried to look for it. I don't see it anymore. So did you stop it?
It's still going.
Okay, hold on a minute. Let me see where it is. It says security participants chat, screen share, pause stop.